When the sun went down, the world didn't just get dark, it became something else entirely. For most of human history, half of every life was spent in darkness so thick you couldn't see your own hands, no street lights, no phones, no glow of a screen, just the night and whatever lived inside it. We like to imagine ancient humans simply going to sleep when it got dark, like flipping a switch. But that image is wrong, completely wrong. The night was not rest time. The night was a second world, a world with different rules. For over 300,000 years, your ancestors spent half their lives in that second world. And here's what science is finally discovering. The night didn't just scare us, the night made us human. So what did they actually do when the sun disappeared? When visibility dropped to zero? When the predators woke up? This is not folklore, this is archaeology, anthropology, sleep science, and a few shocking modern experiments. We're going deep into the prehistoric night, before cities, before clocks, before artificial light forever changed our brains. And by the end of this video, you may never look at 3 a.m. the same way again, because the night is still living inside your body. Your fear of the dark, your urge to gather after sunset, even the way you sleep, may be ancient hardware. First, they had to survive the moment the light died. Sunset for us is beautiful. Sunset for them was a deadline. Get to shelter. Get the group together. Get eyes on the tree line. Or don't wake up. So the first thing they did at night was prepare for war. A quiet war against the dark. Africa's night was not empty silence. It was full of hunters better equipped than we were. Lions preferred to hunt in low light. Leopards own the dark. Hyenas laugh through the night for a reason. Humans have weak night vision. Our eyes evolved for day, for spotting fruit, for reading faces. A cat's eye can read a landscape where yours sees only black. So ancient humans did something strange, something few animals do. They refused to all sleep at the same time. Scientists studying groups like the Hadza in Tanzania found something amazing. Someone is almost always awake. Not one fixed guard all night. A rotating accident of biology. Young adults sleep differently than elders. Night owls and early risers already existed. The result? In a real human camp, pure total group sleep was rare. The night had sentinels, hospital night shifts, security jobs. That friend who is always awake at 2 a.m. That may be ancient software. But watching was not enough. They needed a weapon the predators hated. Fire. When humans learned to control fire, night stopped being pure terror and became territory. A fire is a wall made of light. Lions hesitate. Leopards hang back. The dark recedes a few meters. Inside that circle, something new became possible. Hours that were not hunting and not sleeping. Think about that. Before fire, when darkness fell hard, options collapsed. Huddle, hide, hope. After fire, the night gained a middle ground. A social space, a thinking space. But firewood ends. Sparks die. And the night always waits just beyond the last ember. So nightly life was a negotiation. Light versus dark. Sleep versus watch. Family versus fear. And that negotiation created habits that rewrote the human mind. So did they sleep through the night like we tell children to? Historical records and sleep labs say, probably not the way you do. In the 1990s, psychiatrist Thomas Warr ran a famous experiment. He took modern people and gave them 14 hours of darkness every night, no artificial light, for weeks. At first they slept long. They were sleep deprived like most of us. Then something ancient returned. They began sleeping in two big chunks. A first sleep, then waking for an hour or two, then a second sleep. This is called biphasic sleep, or segmented sleep, first sleep and second sleep. And it wasn't just a lab curiosity. Before electric light, European history is full of first sleep and second sleep. People woke in the middle of the night, and they didn't panic. They used the time. They prayed, talked, made love, visited neighbours, thought, sat in quiet. Ver also found their blood prolactin, a calm, almost meditative hormone, rose in that night waking window. So that 3 a.m. wake up you hate, your body may think it is normal. You've been told unbroken 8-hour sleep is the only healthy way. History disagrees. Ancient night sleep was also social in another way. Bodies shared warmth, ground beds, skins, sometimes raised platforms, sometimes just earth and each other, insects, cold, smoke from the fire, distant animal sounds. The luxury mattress is a brand new invention. Did they dream like us? Almost certainly. The dreaming brain is ancient. Dreams may have been treated as messages, warnings, visits, not just brain noise, and children slept in the safety core of the group, adults forming a living wall. Night was dangerous enough that where you slept said everything about status and care. But they did not only sleep, the night still had hours that asked, "What now?" And the answer, for groups who controlled fire, may after all have been civilization's seed number one. They talked. Day talk and night talk are not the same. Anthropology proved it. Anthropologist Polly Wiesner studied firelight conversation among the Jew/Hwanzi people of the Kalahari. By day, people talked economics, complaints, land, resources, practical tension. By night, the conversation changed. Stories, myths, gossip about people far away, the imaginary, the possible, the remembered. Night talk built the social network that day labor alone could not build. Firelight let people replay the day, heal a conflict, teach without pointing at a real lion. In other words, culture happened after dark, before TV, before theatre. The fire was the screen, the faces around it, the first audience. Stories trained the young brain for danger without requiring near-death practice every time. They sang, hummed. Rhythm doesn't need daylight, music binds groups. Shared rhythm is a social glue. Some nights might have been full of laughter, pretend, play that bled into ritual. Other nights were grief nights. Deaths were common. Night was when grief had room, and ritual, early religion, often belongs to darkness. The unseen world feels closer when eyes can't dominate. Night stripped busy sight away, and left imagination in charge. That may be why stars mattered. When you look up long enough, patterns appear. Constellations are stories pasted onto the sky. Navigation, calendar, myth, all-night work. Moon phases ordered time long before clocks. Night timekeeping was celestial. Some groups planned travel, hunting, and gatherings with the moon's face as a public clock. Tool work also happened by firelight. Sharpen a spear tip, repair a sack, soft work of hands. Not every night was deep philosophy. A lot of night was maintenance of survival equipment, and food, leftovers, meat that needed finishing, marrow cracked while the fire still helped. Cooking isn't only a day technology. Night fires kept meals possible after a late return to camp. So if you compressed an ancient night into a list, it looked like this. Watch, firekeeping, talking, teaching, stargazing, lightcraft, segmented sleep, ready for threat. Remember, controlled fire was not always there. For huge stretches of the deeper past, night meant no warm circle, no bright wall. Then night was more sleep-heavy, more huddle-heavy, more silent. Caves and rock shelters became night fortresses, not because they were cozy, because they limited directions of attack. Trees could be night traps too. Some primates still sleep high. Early humans sometimes did, but big-bodied Homo does not sleep in trees as neatly as a chimpanzee. Ground strategy mattered more over time. Social density was the original night light. Bodies, breath, and ears pointing outward. Infants needed constant protection. Crying at night is not just annoying. In the wild, it is a locating beacon. So night parenting was high stakes. Quiet the child. Warm the child. Keep the child inside the ring. When fire finally entered regular life, everything about night scaled up. Time, talk, craft, courage. Fire didn't invent community. It extended community into the hours that used to belong only to fear. That extension may have turbocharged language itself. More hours to practice storytelling is more hours to practice mind sharing. Some scientists argue long firelit evenings helped our social brains grow. Not because fire is magic, because conversation under low threat rewires what a group can become. The night became school, theatre, town hall, chapel, all at once, which makes our modern night almost unrecognizable. Push a button now and the night dies. Light is cheap. Darkness is optional. Our ancestors could not buy their way out of the dark. They had to socialize with it. Blue screens at midnight tricked the brain into eternal afternoon, whereas subjects returned to biphasic sleep only when the false day of artificial light was removed. So when you wake at night and feel broken, pause. You may be briefly ancient again. Fear of the dark is not childish. It is calibrated. For millions of nights, dark meant incomplete information, and incomplete information got people killed. Nyctophobia has roots. Your amygdala still trains on a world with teeth in it. Camping still reboots pieces of this system. People sleep differently after days outside. Group night laughter around a fire feels older than any language family, because it is. Ghost stories exist because night still tempts the brain to fill gaps with agents. That agent detection system once kept us alive. Better to mistake wind for a predator than predator for wind. Religion, horror movies, midnight podcasts, different costumes, same ancient night. Even cities never fully erased the night watch. We just professionalized it. Police patrols, night nurses, truckers. The tribe still needs people who own the dark hours. What vanished is shared darkness as a community traditional space. We replaced the campfire ring with private screens, same staring, less shared story. That trade bought safety and productivity. It also bought loneliness after sunset. Ancient night was terrifying and intimate. Modern night is safer and often emptier. Knowing this doesn't mean you should abandon electricity. It means you can understand your body with more kindness. Waking at night is not always failure. Needing people after dark is not weakness. Fearing pure black is not childishness. Those are fossils of strategies that worked. Let's put it together. One ordinary night, roughly 40,000 years ago. The sun falls. People stream back toward a known shelter. No one wants to be alone on the path. Fire is coaxed up from embers. Wood counted. Sparks guarded like treasure. Food is shared. Tools checked. Children herded inward. Talk begins soft, then becomes story when bellies settle. Someone laughs. Someone argues. Someone sings a line that everyone already knows. A distant roar stills the circle. Spears nearer, ears open. Then breath returns. Bodies sleep in shifts of biology more than military schedule. Always a consciousness somewhere in the group. A parent wakes for a restless infant. An elder dozes and wakes and dozes. In the long middle hours, quiet conversation or silent staring into red coals. Second sleep eventually pulls them under again before dawn grey. Dawn does not just bring light, it brings relief. The second world releases them. That cycle, of thousands of times per lifetime, carved us. You are the descendant of people who mastered the night without conquering it. So what did ancient humans do at night? They guarded, they maintained the flame, they slept in pieces, they held children through danger, they talked longer than daylight allowed, they turned fear into story, they turned darkness into culture. The night was never empty, it was the other half of becoming human. Next time you wake at 3 a.m., remember, you are visiting an old room in the house of your biology. Next time you sit with friends after sunset, you are running sacred software. The dark shaped your ears, your fears, your bonds, your stories, your sleep. We did not only survive the night, we were built by it. The secret history of being human continues every time the sun goes down. My mind mesh. The secret history of being human. Told in sticks. If this night story hit you, subscribe. And tell me in the comments. Are you a first sleep person? Or do you still wake in the dark?